Mining Indaba has been at Electromining, and I have officially found what I think is the coolest stand at the whole show. Michael, the stand is amazing. Tell me, what does Nerospec do?
Nerospec's a group of companies. One of those companies is called Nerospec Oscon, and it's a company that specializes in the digitization and the control of trackless mining machines, in short. Yeah.
Obviously, technology, which is something I'm very interested in, is a big feature of the stand of what you do. Tell me from a technological perspective and also from an innovative perspective what you do as well.
Well, the company Nerospec Oscon has been introducing technology into the mining sector, specifically on trackless mining machines, for over a decade now. It's a fast-moving, fast-paced world. Every time we innovate something, it comes with all sorts of risks: management of change, adoption by operators, all sorts of, let's say, things that are easy to forget when you're implementing technology in that arduous underground mining environment. So the most exciting part of what we do is to try and introduce technology that works, it does what its intended function is, but yet it's as non-intrusive as possible to the existing mining operation, which helps us to succeed.
So when you think about technology, what is driving you? What is the purpose behind the technology and the innovation that you bring to market?
That's an easy one. So virtually every single product that we produce, whether it's software or hardware, all of it is got a single purpose, and that's to improve really the quality of life of underground miners, naturally improve safety, naturally improve the productivity for the mine. But in general, all of what we do is about improving your day work experience as an underground miner. That's what we do.
Okay.
To the best that we can with technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we touch on one of the cool things I've seen here, I believe Nerospec has a very interesting history with regards to PDS. Don't you going to share some of your achievements in that space?
With pleasure. I'll try not to ramble too long. 23 years ago, Paderborn Mining Company, then owned by, I think it was Rio Tinto at the time, they had a massive open pit mine, and they needed to go underground to remove copper ore from the open pit. They went underground that open pit. They had a very large copper beneficiation plant, quite an achievement for South Africa at the time, that was fed by the open pit big dump trucks. Going underground, they needed to take a lot of ore out to keep that copper beneficiation pit fully functional.
Yeah.
So they needed to blast twice a day or 3 times a day. And so we were approached at the time to put cap lamp tags in miners' cap lamp batteries.
Yep.
First step, as an automatic shaft clearance system. We did that, and it didn't take long after that shaft clearance system for us to realize, well, if we put a little reader in the mining machine, the operator can see who's around him.
Right.
That was the beginning, 23 years ago. We then spent about 15 years as B3 Solutions developing that product portfolio. Around about 10 years ago, we sold that business to a German multinational who had taken that technology worldwide, collision detection technology. And we decided the next step for us as innovators was to focus on the control of the mining machine. Because unfortunately, I mean, I don't know if you've ever looked at the workload of a mining machine LHD operator. We see it in our charts and graphs. They spend literally 8 hours in that high temperature, high noise environment operating these machines. Your focus, your concentration is going to lapse. So this complacency will set in.
Yeah.
So naturally, if something is detected, they may not respond accordingly based on the detection alarms. So machine intervention was the next evolution of that technology. And we spent the last 10 years purely in the machine intervention control space.
Okay.
With multiple OEMs and now multiple proximity detection companies, we sort of positioned ourselves in the middle to really get around the problem of operator complacency as a result of long exposure to these detection systems. Yeah.
And I believe you were the first company to install a level 9 PDS system in South Africa or Africa?
Correct. Actually, internationally, worldwide, the Glencore group contracted us in 2015 to install level 9 machine control on their entire fleet. It was actually a Glencore waterfall mine, a chrome mine in Rustenburg.
Yeah.
And Glencore had a long tradition of detection innovation. A lot of our first clients, other than Palabora Mining Company, was Glencore. And we were engaged in 2015. There was around 43 machines on site at Glencore's waterfall chrome mine, underground mine. It was interesting because LHDs from multiple LHD vendors, underground ambulance, believe it or not,
Yeah.
underground small golf carts, that were used for man transport. Of course, your drill rigs, also other OEM vendors. And we set about figuring out how to do machine intervention on propulsion and braking and articulation lockout on these 40 odd machines. And by the end of 2015, we'd achieved that.
Okay.
And so together with Glencore and the PDS vendor, we can proudly say we were the first mine-wide machine type independent level 9 implementation.
Fantastic. Amazing. Now, innovation has continued in your company because what I've seen on your stand is what you call a navigator. To me, it looks like a pod. Don't you want to explain, Michael, what the navigator is all about? It looks pretty unusual and different and quite innovative as far as mining is concerned. Tell me about the navigator.
So in short form, detecting people around mining machines so that you can alert the operator, step 1. Step 2, take control of the machine so that even if the operator doesn't notice the alarm, the machine slows down and stops so that person or other machine underground is not put in harm's way. Step 3 is to take the operator out of the machine underground and put him in a controlled air-conditioned environment. He's still doing his job, navigating that machine underground in a virtualized world that he can be out of harm's way, fall of ground, noxious gases, collisions, and still maintain, let's call it tactic control of that machine remotely. Of course, it comes with the advantage that when the machine is standing idle, he can switch to the next machine, and that same skilled operator can be controlling multiple machines at the same time, or more or less at the same time.
Now, your navigator has a very specific design.
Yes.
Unlike anything else I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind the design of your navigator?
Well, it didn't come like that in the beginning. We evolved it.
Okay.
Our very first version was effectively a truck. Think about a vehicle surface, long transport haulage truck seat, as comfortable as can be, with the necessary controls. And that worked well technically. But what we discovered with our clients was, unless it's sort of hidden away in a container somewhere, the distraction from people walking past, normally an operator is not that distracted.
Yeah.
So we decided that to solve that, we would immerse the operator in this virtualized pod as best we could.
Okay.
So the sounds were realistic, so the surround screen would keep him focused on as if he was operating his machine
In
in
his
isolation
machine underground.
And that was the genesis of that design. Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Pleasure.
Michael, the innovation that your company is bringing to the mining industry is absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time and taking the time to come and see what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Technology is a major focus at Mining Indaba, and if you want to come and see new technologies such as what we spoke about today, join us in February in Cape Town next year.